These British comedians certainly know how to lampoon today's headlines, as well as each other.
At the top of a list of 5 big threats that world leaders need to tackle to avoid a global financial meltdown. Are we scared of this disaster?
Yeah.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 Mock the Week moments.
Before we begin, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content.
For this list, we'll be taking a look at the funniest and most memorable moments from the topical comedy panel show Mock the Week. These picks were chosen based not only on their comedic levels, but also on their insight into topics like society, politics and media. Number 10, Black Hole Machine.
Because they've created a giant black hole machine in Switzerland. A machine that could create a black hole that will end the universe.
There was some worry in 2008 that turning on the Large Hadron Collider may create a dangerous black hole, and the panellists tackle the subject with concern, but also humour.
The thing is, I'm sure they're going to find out some interesting things about protons, but I would add, I don't give a
Frankie Boyle seems the most pessimistic about the subject, taking the conversation to a dark but hilarious place when he suggests that fellow panellist Russel Howard will definitely be the first to go when their studio gets sucked towards Switzerland.
It might create a tiny black hole, right, which is the worst type of black hole, because we'll all get drawn slowly towards Switzerland. And every week this desk will be like 2 feet further over there. And then eventually we'll just look one week and Russell have been replaced by just the jaws of infinity.
Number 9, Dara's Head. Ripping into host Dara O Briain is a common pastime on the show, and this example is no different. Talking about an article discussing the effect of Alzheimer's disease based on head size, Dara is taken aback that the article uses him as an example of someone with a big head.
Now that would be alright if it wasn't for that, like, the article actually came with a giant photograph of me next to the article.
But instead of sympathy, the panellists are merciless with their retorts about the host's appearance.
I'm going to take you to a hall of mirrors and show you how you should look.
With Chris Addison being especially perplexed why O'Brien would expect them to do anything but, well, mock him.
I revealed a weakness in front of 6 comedians and I thought, there's a group that'll help me through this.
Number 8, Stepladder. Whilst discussing one of the many controversies surrounding now former FIFA president Sepp Blatter, panellist Hugh Denis makes a humorous remark about how the infamous football administrator's name sounds similar to a certain household object.
It sounds like a German man saying stepladder.
Yes, Hugo, that building is on fire. I'll get a stepladder.
The joke goes over well, but what really makes this bit work is how Denis continues to work it into conversation throughout the episode. Hey, if you find good material, mine it for all it's worth.
That name is very high on that bit of paper. I may need a stepladder.
Number 7, The Racist Door. Frankie Boyle was a controversial figure during his tenure on the show, and he knows it.
But what does LCGA stand for?
Whilst trying to figure out an acronym in the headliners round, Holly Payne makes a crack about Glaswegians, to which Boyle, a Glaswegian himself, takes as an opportunity to open up on the racial humour.
The 4 things you're not allowed at the party. Is it ladies, cocaine, Glaswegians and alcohol?
Is it,
Very racist. Thanks for opening the racist door for me.
The bit stretches on as Andy Parsons has his own go at the Scots whilst discussing Colonel Gaddafi and al-Megrahi, at which point Boyle decides to take control of the door again.
Watching somebody toss the caber, going, ah!
Will you excuse me while I just lock the racist door?
Number 6, Brexit Tea. The effects of Great Britain leaving the European Union is still a scary topic, but you can trust a bunch of comedians to find humour in it. Panellist James Acaster chimes in with his own outlook on the matter, using an analogy that compares the ramifications of the vote to the great British pastime drinking tea.
If you leave the bag in, then over time, the cup of tea itself as a whole will get stronger, and it might appear like the bag is getting weaker, but it's now part of a stronger cup of tea.
The concept is laughable at first, but Acaster's comparison is surprisingly apt in surmising the logic of leaving the EU.
If you take the bag out, the tea is now quite weak, and the bag itself goes directly in the bin.
Who says politics can't be fun?
That may be the smartest thing anyone has said in the last 2 months.
Number 5, Private Browsing. Going off on a tangent is no rare occurrence on Mock the Week, as the panellists constantly go down rabbit holes that leaves them and the audience in stitches. A conversation about concealing internet history leads Dara O Briain to create a fictional soldier character.
My favourite member of the Army Corps, Private Browsing. Good afternoon, Private Browsing. Are you on duty again? I certainly am, Dara. I shall be protecting you from any inappropriate sights.
The panel only goes further off topic, but O'Brien is too cracked up to get on with the show despite the nagging of producers in his ear.
Sorry, would you like me to carry on with the show? Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Number 4, Newsreel. A rare show segment, but one that's always a treat when it comes. Hugh Denis' dubbing of news footage to hilarious effect has too many good moments to choose from.
Today, what would I like to sing for you? Bananarama. It's a Bananarama.
No, we don't want Bananarama. No, I want you to sing some country. Sing some country music.
Well, okay. Johnny Cash.
The comedian's versatile voice captures a variety of incredible impressions, and the characters he crafts out of these real-life figures practically have a life of their own.
Good morning. Do you have cheese? There's cheese. Is there cheese? Is there those things? Is there cheese at all? No, that's an oyster, sir. Your royal idiotness. That's an oyster.
Whether giving a voice to an arrogant Barack Obama, a weedy David Cameron, or a particularly filthy Prince Philip, Newsreel is always guaranteed to get a laugh.
Can I just say, you really do have a terrific pair of norks. They are.
Number 3, Monsoon Poultry Hospital. The initial responses given during the "if this is the answer, what is the question" are often nonsensical, but this one goes down in legend. Given the answer, chickens, nurses and rain, Hugh Denis suggests a particularly bizarre but brilliant accompanying question.
Is it what are the most used sound effects in the radio drama Monsoon Poultry Hospital?
Denis and Dara O Briain then delight themselves with acting out scenes from the fictional show.
Doctor, I think this chicken is drowning!
And the joke even carried on to the next episode, with O'Brien presenting the DVD of Monsoon Poultry Hospital.
I put all my savings into the big budget production of Monsoon Poultry Hospital. I think it's right. Well, you're involved as well. I mean, because I play the role of Morag the nurse. Monsoon Poultry Hospital.
Number 2, what does Dara look like? One of the more legendary running gags in the series' history, the jokes about Dara O Briain's appearance were taken to a new level all thanks to one heckler.
She ran alongside the torch. Ran alongside it as a giant penis. Down the street screaming. It does not look like me.
Whilst discussing the odd decision of a mayor to wear a sausage costume, an audience member shouts out that O'Brien resembles the outfit.
That's for the 100th programme and the first time we've been heckled by the audience. You look like a penis sausage.
Throughout the episode and several ensuing shows, the host is forced to compare himself to the Megabus mascot, a blobfish, and a gorilla amongst others, all to his own chagrin.
In my ear constantly, people are going, wear the hat, wear the hat, wear the hat, wear the hat. Yeah, they gave me a yellow hat because they think I look like the Megabus guy.
Before we reach our hilarious top pick, here are a few honourable mentions.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And it's gold for Ireland!
Hang on. What was that? Put that back up again. What the hell was that? You just popped up. No, not that one. Don't the one you hid from us. Show us that one again. Show us that one again. We've seen it. You've... That! What the hell was that? It has been slightly controversial, this one, for reasons I can't quite figure why this has been as controversial as it has been.
Number 1, Andy Murray. Mock the Week doesn't usually attract huge celebrities, but one of Britain's biggest has made several hilarious appearances on the show.
All I'm saying is, it's a pleasure to have you here, Andy. Enjoy the show. We obviously, when you're talking about the final, keep it light. Keep it light.
A fan of the programme, tennis player Andy Murray was in the audience after narrowly losing Wimbledon in 2012, causing the panel to unleash on him.
Top 3 tearjerkers of all time, terms of endearment, Philadelphia, and Andy Murray trying to congratulate Roger Federer without calling him a bastard.
However, after winning the competition the next year, Murray graciously returned to much fanfare, but even in victory, there is no escape from ridicule by these comedians.
Kim turned to Andy and said, "Yes, of course I will." Andy said, "Thank you for making me the happiest man in the world."
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.